Oh my god.
He ain't coming back.
That city they're headed to, is that...
Junon. Shinra territory. Come on.
Hello friends, I just want to let you know that there is going to be exclusive footage, cutscenes, gameplay throughout this entire video, so here's just a spoiler warning along with my thoughts on the exclusive demo I was given early access to at the Square Enix office. I tried my absolute best to provide you with as much info as possible, so please don't be mean to me as I am very sensitive. Please enjoy the video. Oh my god. Finally, I can release this video. I can finally talk about playing Final Fantasy VII Rebirth early. I am one of few people who have been able to, fortunately, because of all of you watching right now, thank you so much. I was able to get my hands on Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. Thank you so much to Square Enix for allowing me to go to the office and give me this opportunity to play my favorite game of all time. I have so much to say, and I have so little time to say it. So without further dragging out this intro, if you guys want to see more stuff about Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, I'm going to have a series of videos covering exactly what I played, what I experienced. Obviously, there are spoilers, so if you don't want to be spoiled on anything, please click off the video now. Otherwise, I'm going to be talking about Sephiroth, Red 13, synergy abilities, and the Junon region. So yeah, if you guys like this video, like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. Make sure that you engage with it if you want. It really helps me out. I have memberships open for YouTube, so if you would like more unfiltered discussions about Final Fantasy VII, you can find my discussion videos in my memberships that are a lot more unfiltered than what you see here. Enjoy the video. So starting off, the main thing that I wanted to talk about is, so as you'll see, it's going to be a demo, and I believe you guys are going to get your hands on this demo eventually. I do know that it'll be accessible at Tokyo Game Show. I don't know if they're going to release it publicly, but I would assume they would. But again, like I said, I'm not sure, so don't count on it. But the demo gives you two different options when you get into it. So you have the demo where you join Sephiroth and Tifa and Cloud in Nibelheim, and then you have the Junon region with our cast that we've been introduced to: Barret, Red, Aerith, Tifa, and Cloud, that were in Final Fantasy VII Remake. So I think I'm just gonna try to keep this video as organized as possible, but I can really only show about 20 minutes of footage per video, and I think this video is just kind of an introduction to what I played and my overall thoughts about it. So the first demo that I got to experience was the Sephiroth and Cloud and Tifa one. You start out in a cave. There's this really beautiful cutscene with Tifa and Cloud, and they're visibly so young and so youthful, and Sephiroth obviously is by their side, and he looks as beautiful and as gorgeous as ever. Tifa acts as a guide pretty much in this sense, so you don't get to play her, but she's in her cute cowgirl outfit, and it's very surreal to see the relationship with Sephiroth when he's a good guy. I know that Sephiroth used to be a good guy. I know the comments are gonna be like, do you actually? Yes, I know, I get it, okay? But it's really weird to have this very infamous villain be so casual and kind to the people around him. The greatest thing about seeing Sephiroth is you actually get to play him, and this was so much fun because they don't shy away from Sephiroth being overpowered. I feel like when you play Sephiroth, he hits hard, he staggers quick, and he's a lot of fun. Super agile, super powerful. He has 2 abilities to start off. Zacian launch rending waves of energy at an enemy and can use while airborne. His next one is Hell Gates, and let me tell you, this was the first one I used, and when I tell you, my jaw was on the floor when I used it because it's literally the Aerith killing move, and I didn't know how to react. My jaw was on the floor when I saw it, and it made me feel very confused. While you're playing as Sephiroth, you learn about these synergy moves, and synergy moves are moves that you can do with whoever's in your party at the time. So Cloud has a specific synergy, has specific synergy moves with Sephiroth, and Sephiroth has completely different synergy moves with Cloud. So if I'm playing Cloud, I have 2 moves I can use that are completely different from when I'm playing Sephiroth, and can use the same synergy with Cloud but a completely different move. So Sephiroth and Cloud's synergy attack is Dual Blade Dance. It's a DPS hard hitting move, does a lot of damage, and then with Cloud, I don't know. Oh wait, I found it. I saw it. I'm sorry, my notes are not organized at all. Cloud and Sephiroth, their synergy skills are Void Shatter, which is another very, very hard hitting DPS move, and then Counter Fire, which is a counter attack. So Cloud holds strong, and then as soon as he gets hit, he counters, and that's really cool. The counter attack I didn't use much because I just couldn't get the enemy to hit me whenever I was in that stance. So yeah, but I like them. I think they're cool. I think it's weird to be doing team attacks with Sephiroth. But yeah, you follow Tifa as your guide, and you go through exploring outside of this cave. There's one point where you have to wander into another cave, and as you wander into this cave, you're greeted by a boss, which is the Materia Guardian, and the conversation between Cloud and Sephiroth is extraordinarily odd.
You're practically panting.
I'm excited.
Such a puppy.
Sephiroth calls Cloud a puppy. And although I was incredibly... I also realized that this could not be Cloud's memory, because Cloud never joined Soldier, and Cloud is not very puppy-like. So the first person that comes to mind when I think of puppy and Soldier is my boyfriend. Yeah, my boyfriend Zach Fair. So what I think here in this beginning scene is we are playing through Zach's memories as Cloud. Let me try this again. What I think here is we are playing through Zach's memories, but how Cloud remembers himself, because Cloud thinks that to a degree, he has the same experiences as Zack. Whatever Zack did in Soldier, Cloud thinks that he did. So we are going and playing through Cloud's false memories of Zack.
Take it from here. Nice work.
So during this boss fight, I think a lot of people start to realize, before and after the cutscenes for the boss fight, I think a lot of people will start to realize that we are playing through a false memory. And so I was actually, and I don't know if I should say this, but I really want to say it because I wear it as a badge of honor, I was one of the first people that accidentally found a bug in the boss fight. I fell through the boss stage, the boss arena, and I was like under the boss, and for like 45 minutes I didn't know what was going on. So if you see footage where I am playing as if I'm very, very confused and stuck, That's why. Obviously, that'll be fixed because obviously the devs know now, directly the devs know to fix it, get it taken care of before the demo's out, and so hopefully nobody will experience those problems, but I do wear it as a badge of honor. I would like everyone to know the very on-brand ARUUU thing happened where I accidentally broke the game. Every single game I play, it's on brand at this point. I just have terrible luck. But it is a fun little thing, and I think I'll remember that forever. Like, oh my god, I was one of the first people to break the game. Haha. But then after the boss, when you get to like, I don't want to call it a phase 2, but it's kind of like, because like during the boss fight they both made it like you can fight, but then when you do certain amounts of damage, you trigger cutscenes. So I believe there's like 3 or 4 cutscenes during this boss fight. And during one of the cutscenes, it basically has Sephiroth and Cloud have an exchange of dialogue in a little moment. And you are able to do a double helix synergy ability. And that is like, I feel like the best way to describe it, it's like a very flashy team move from both ends. Sephiroth unleashes elegant flurry strikes and Cloud does his best to follow suit. It raises Cloud's limit level and grants Sephiroth unlimited MP.
Whoa, that was insane.
Don't get distracted. Strike.
I know.
So, as you know, all of the, I believe from what I saw, almost all of your party members will have double helix synergies with each other. Tifa and Aerith have one, as you've seen in some of the trailers. Cloud and Aerith have one, which I will show towards the end of the video when I start talking about the Junon region. Tifa and Cloud have one. Tifa and... I don't know if Tifa and Barrett have one. I mean, they probably do. I just didn't get to see it because I could only play for 2 hours. So there's a lot of things that I didn't get to see. But I do believe that Red and Barrett have one. And you get it. There's a lot of combinations you can do with all the people in your party, okay? I loved being able to play Sephiroth. Like I said, though, it's really a weird feeling to have such a... Because, like, when you think of Sephiroth, I believe that Sephiroth is, like... probably one of the most notorious gaming villains of all time, and probably one of the most notorious villains of all time, just not in gaming. I think Sephiroth at this point has kind of transcended gaming, and so seeing a character that has been so intimidating for my entire life and then being able to play him is so strange. Like, yeah, I can play him in Smash, but it's not the same as like playing him in Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. You know what I mean? It feels very strange. But I am very glad we get to play him. I hope we get to play him more. And I wish I was able to spend more time playing him. But I had to rush because I really only had 2 hours. And I kept everybody at the Square Enix office late. I was the last one to finish the demo and people had already were like leaving the office. I think I left the office around like 6:30, 6:40. And I feel really bad. I'm really sorry for keeping you guys so late. I just got lost in everything Final Fantasy Rebirth goodness. I was really in my element. I cried during the introduction video. I don't know if I can say much about the introduction video, so I don't want to say anything about it, but we did have an introduction kind of presentation, and some of the voice actors were explaining how excited they were for us to get to try the game and be some of the first people to play it, and I cried so much. It's really, really surreal. But let's move on to the Junon region. So you start in the Junon region. As you can see, the map is so incredibly massive, and it is a very large, open, expansive exploration area. So there are like islands that you can go to, and like the way you get there is you swim on your chocobo. And I saw islands like way out that had items on them. The map is just massive, and even then, like in the demo, there's a part of the map that's like closed off that'll be open when the game releases. But like even with that area closed off, it was still so big. I must have spent like an hour and a half in this area. I was just so lost in exploring this area because there were like certain enemies that you could go fight and it'd give you like, did you pressure the enemy? Were you able to stagger the enemy? And it'd give you like kind of goals that you had to complete. And I got to do so much experimenting with different abilities, different synergies, different characters. Because while you're exploring, you can actually switch out party members. So like I started off with Red and Aerith, and then I did Tifa and Aerith, and then Barret and Red. And so there was a lot of people that I could switch through that I was having a lot of fun with. And there's so many different abilities, like I said, and synergies. Like Red synergy with Aerith and Cloud is different from Aerith synergy with Red and Cloud. You know what I mean? So there was so many different combinations. There's abilities, spells, synergies, limits. There was just so many options that I was able to mix and match, and I'm not gonna lie, I was a little overwhelmed, but I wanted to try everything with everyone, and unfortunately there just was not enough time to do that. I feel like in this area, when the game does come out, I would not be surprised to see people spending 6 to 7 hours in just the Junon region alone, if not more than 6 or 7 hours, because there's just so much to do and so much to explore. And on top of it, you have chocobos. You get to ride chocobos around this region, and the really cool thing about the chocobos is that you can find items with them. So they have like this, the best way I can describe it is like a sense. And so when your chocobo starts to sense an item around you, it'll have this little question mark, and you have to go like use this chocobo sense to find where you need to dig. And then when you dig in that area, you can find the item, and that's a lot of fun. And then on top of it, there's these little baby chocobos that will come and say hello to you. They're adorable. They're these cute little guys, and they will take you to a chocobo stop. And once you lift up this chocobo stop, it's like a little bus stop, and you have to lift up this sign with Cloud. Once you lift it up, you can pet them, which is amazing. And we love that. Any animal we get to pet, especially a baby chocobo, makes me so happy. But then once you set up this sign, open the map, and then you can teleport to that chocobo stop area. And so that's a nice little way to get around the map, and it makes it really convenient for exploring and all that good stuff. And then on top of it, if you go to this little chocobo barn area, there is a bunch of armor that, like, not a bunch, but I'm sure there will be a bunch when the game comes out, right? But there was like scorpion armor, there was Shinra armor, and then on top of it, you can put that like armor on your chocobo, but then you can pick any color you want, any color combinations that you want. So I made mine green, as you can see, but you can make a hot pink, baby blue, and I believe, because I think there's a way to customize the color of your chocobo, because the chocobo that I saw in the trailer that they just showed recently was blue. I'm sure there's a way to customize your chocobo's colors. I just didn't figure that out within the 2 hours I was given, but I did figure out how to customize my armor for my chocobo, which is really great. It's just a fun little thing. I know there's some people that are like, nah, whatever, not important, but I know there are other people like, oh my god, that's so cool, I can't wait. So I thought that was really fun. And like I said, your chocobos can swim, and you can cross the waters with your chocobo to get to different islands. I'm trying to think, because there's a lot to go over, and I have to be really specific with the footage that I show here. Oh my god, guys, I got to play Red 13. Yeah, I did, and it was amazing. It was so, I was so happy playing Red 13. You guys have no idea. I was so happy. He is so fun. It's exactly how you would imagine playing Red 13. I don't know how to explain it, but he's super fast, super powerful. Red 13 has a Vengeance mode, and in his Vengeance mode, it increases Red 13's attack, power, and dodge speed. And his abilities are Sidewinder, which is just like a big spin dash. He has a Sentinel stance, Stardust Ray, which is unleash a devastating AoE attack, but it costs 2 ATB. So if you do use this, you're gonna have to wait a while before you use any other ability, but it seems like it's worth it. I unfortunately didn't get to use it. His last one is Crescent Claw, which is just a really big damage dealing slash. Red 13 is fast, agile, powerful, and be mindful of Vengeance mode when you are playing him. I think his whole his whole playstyle revolves around that Vengeance mode, because when you're in Vengeance mode, that's like time to do damage, time to do crazy things, and then usually when you're not in Vengeance mode, you want to use him to guard, to counter, all of that good stuff. I'm very excited for all of you to get to play him, because he's a big giant cat that just starts smacking the crap out of enemies. The synergies. Last thing I want to talk about is, like, if I can only talk about 3 things, like I said, Sephiroth, Red 13 and the synergies. The synergies are so cool. I cannot stress how much this has not like necessarily changed the combat, but how much it has added on to the combat. Because for Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, it looks like remake, but much more improved. And then on top of it, the world has definitely expanded exponentially. Each character had like so many abilities and so many things that you can do that I do recommend familiarizing yourself, re-familiarizing yourself with the combat of Final Fantasy VII Remake so that you're not overwhelmed in Rebirth, because there is so much added to the combat in Rebirth, especially like different combinations and different abilities. So like Tifa, I think Tifa alone had like 8 different abilities. And now don't quote me on that, but like she had a lot of abilities. And so I just want to talk about some of my favorite synergy attacks. I don't want to spoil all of them. Like Aerith and Red 13 have a really cool one, but I don't want to spoil it. Tifa and Cloud have a very cool one that I will spoil. And Aerith and Cloud is actually you guys are going to be really surprised to hear me say this, but Aerith and Cloud have my favorite synergy attack. I know it's shocking. Nobody would have ever guessed it, but here we are. Never thought I'd say it, you guys, but Aerith and Cloud have my favorite synergy attack called Firework Blade. The name alone makes my heart go pitter-patter. Because Firework Blade, I think of when Aerith came out in the red dress and you see the fireworks, and for them to call it Fireworks Blade just makes me kind of go stupid. And it's so cute. It's so cute because they put their backs up together and Aerith is pushing out her butt to Cloud and she's like, right, Cloud. And Cloud's like, Aerith, get ready. I love it. I love it. I can't. I'm being fed good, but it's so cute. And so basically what it is Cloud uses Aerith's magic to unleash a ranged attack. It temporarily grants unlimited MP. And the attack is so pretty because you wouldn't have guessed it, but there's fireworks. And it's just a really cute cutscene between the two of them. A cute little dialogue exchange. I don't even know if you can call it a cutscene, but like, you know what I mean? Like a cute little moment between them where the camera zooms in on both of them. They both do their thing. They exchange their dialogues. And then the attack itself is so pretty. And then there's another one. It's called Spellblade. And it is like Cloud gets covered in pink, which is so cute. And he like slams his Buster Sword into the ground and then pink starts shooting up out of the ground, and it's like it does so much damage. It does stupid amounts of damage. And Cloud has a similar synergy with a synergy skill with Tifa, where it is almost the same thing, except Tifa wraps Cloud in red, and then he grants like a devastating blow, and he just kind of swings like it's just a brute force attack, obviously. And they're covered in red, and it's very cute. And then there's another one that's my favorite. I really like this one. It is a Tifa and Cloud synergy attack. So this is from Tifa. You're playing as Tifa and you want to do a synergy skill with Cloud. And it's called Soaring Flurry. This one is the rawest thing I've ever seen. I don't even know how to explain it. So Cloud puts Tifa, like, I don't even know how to say it. He's like, Cloud readies his Buster Sword and he's like, Tifa! And Tifa jumps on the Buster Sword and he throws her upward. Like, he swings his Buster Sword and she gets thrown upwards and she just starts doing crazy girl stuff. She starts kicking, punching, doing her thing. I loved it. I loved it. It looked so cool. It was so hype. I got goosebumps because that is just... Oh, I love it. I just want to see more. That's all I think about is like, I go to bed thinking, what else are they going to do? What else are they going to do to make me go cuckoo crazy? So that one's really cool. And then my other favorite synergy attack, and this one is, you know, very special because it's Tifa and Aerith. And so when you're playing as Tifa and you want to do a synergy skill with Aerith, it's called Heavenly Ascent. And this one is very similar to the one that Tifa has with Cloud, except instead of Tifa jumping up on the Buster Sword and being thrown upwards, Aerith puts like a magic thing on the ground, like with her magic, obviously. I don't know where I was going with that, but she puts magic on the ground and she uses the magic to throw Tifa upwards, and Tifa like floats upwards. So when they say heavenly ascent, it's such a good name for that attack. It's a perfect name, and it's so them. It's so girly pop. It's so baby girl. So I really love that one. It's beautiful because the way Tifa is thrown up by Aerith, it's almost like she's floating upwards, and it's just a very aesthetic, beautiful move. It just makes me want to be with them, you know? There's a very, very cool attack, a synergy skill between Barret and Red 13, and literally Red 13 jumps on Barret, and Barret tosses him forward with his like arm, and it's so cool. It can't even... I don't even, like, you're seeing it on screen, so you're probably just like freaking out as much as I am. I can't even put into words how much thought and care was put into these synergy attacks. I think they're called synergy skills, but I keep saying attack. But yeah, I am so happy with everything that I played. I'm so pleasantly surprised. Like, obviously it's my favorite game, so I'm expecting very, very good things, but seeing my favorite characters doing attacks together, having dialogue exchanges together, it's just really nice to be able to finally have new content. Finally being able to see new things, finally being able to be back in this world of Final Fantasy VII, because it feels like it's been so long since Remake, and then being able to relive this hype and be excited for new content and seeing new content and seeing new things. Like, I cannot put into words how much fun I had in such a short amount of time, because 2 hours for me when I was playing this flew by like I felt like I was only playing for like maybe half an hour. I'm not even kidding. And so it's bittersweet to not be able to like have been able to do everything that I wanted, because if I got to do everything I wanted, I guarantee you I would have been playing just in the Junon region alone for like 9 hours. There's just so many things that they gave you at your fingertips, and I think if you're a new player, you should 100% play Remake before Rebirth comes out, because it is a direct, like, it's directly correlated, right? So if you just hop into Rebirth, you will be very confused and overwhelmed. At least I think so. But if you're a returning player and you've been waiting for Rebirth and you've been just as excited as I am, I think you guys are going to have a lot of fun. I think you're gonna be so blown away by this demo and how much love and care and how many new things were added that I can't even properly word how happy I am and how excited I am for any new Final Fantasy VII Rebirth content. I think this is much better. I think this will be much better than Remake. Not that Remake was bad, it's my favorite game, right? But to say this will be much better than Remake, I hope that you realize that Remake was really just the beginning, because Rebirth has already blown me away, and I've only played what, like 2% of the game?
Oh no, you don't.
If you guys like this video, if you would like more deep dives into anything I talked about, I would like to make a lot more videos talking about Rebirth. Unfortunately, I do have to be mindful of how much I share, how much I spoil, and yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Thank you so much for listening to me just babble on about I don't know, like everything that I got to play, it was amazing. And thanks for just listening to me run my mouth and say whatever comes to mind. But I really appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, because without any of you, I would not have this opportunity. I would not be able to do these amazing things. See, I'm gonna cry. I'm gonna cry because never in a million years would I have guessed that I get to do this, and it's possible. So because of you guys, thank you so much, and I cannot wait to talk about it more and make so many more videos and be excited with you. Thank you so much. Have a good day. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.
What?
Avalanche, huh?
That depends on who's asking.
A woman who could turn you in. And be 100 grand richer for it.
Well, you know what they say. Can't take it with you.
And heiress to boot, huh? That's another $500,000 on top.
$500,000?
Down here, though, we know when to turn a blind eye. Consider our lips sealed.
Sorry, but I call bullshit.
Well, I don't think you would if you knew even half of what my town's been through. You don't like it? Leave. But over there, there's a quiet little inn where everyone's welcome.